Hello. Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. So, what's crack-a-lacking in these streets? Your streets in your real world and the ones on the YouTube. What's going on? I came on a little early. I had it scheduled for like, I think 10 or 15 after. I came on early because Bliss was ready to go. So, what's going on, everybody? Let me acknowledge the folks in the chat before we get into the shits. Hey, Morgan. Hey, Embrene. Hey, and the thing is, good to see you. Hello, Monique, Tammy Lynn. How you doing, Pudding? Hello, moderator, Watermelon Sugar, April H. Welcome. Hey, Miss Bliss, Random Crafting. Dolly's Game. What's going on, honey? Aisha, good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you at. Hello, Miss Paulette. Hey, Jay Parrish. Denise, what's popping? Miss Elisa, how you doing, baby? How you doing? We gotta talk soon, catch up and stuff. Hello, Anthony Smith. How you doing? Hello, D Dot. Voodoo Games. Jennifer, how you doing? Purple Peach. Um, Dee Jones, what's going on, honey? Hey, Leandris, how are you? Hey, Miss Lorraine, how are you? What's up, chat rep? What's going on? Hey, Spam. Hello, that 504. Hey, Lily. Hey, Miss Gerald. Hey, Just Blaze Boo. Hey, Peaceful Lady. We in here, we in here, we in here. Let me make sure I ain't leave no, cause no did may. Hey, I am here for the show. See there, no did may left behind, bitch. I'll go back down here. How y'all doing? Hey, to the people in the clouds, how y'all doing today? Hello, Robin of Detroit. Hey, I'm used to Jay Hudson, but hey, Hudson J, how you doing? Hey, Peach Fuzz, what's going on, Keisha? Hey, Miss Donna, how you doing today? Hey, Miss Pointy. Hey, Miss Liz, that Virgo, get it correct. How y'all doing? Hey, Miss Cruz, how you doing, Pudding? Hey, Audra, how you feeling, baby? How you doing? Hey, One Tierra, how you doing? Hey, Miss Fifi. Hey, La Lizzie. Hey, the Missing Piece. Hey, YouTube cameras. Hey, Miss Kimmy. Hey, Boo Thing, Phenomenal Scorpio. Hey, Miss Jean. Hey, Latasha. Hey Reese's, hey Fates, hey everybody, happy Tuesday, everybody, happy Tuesday. Now y'all can turn to your neighbor and tell them we here because of Purple Peach. If you happy today that the den opened up, y'all need to tell Purple Peach thank you. Cause the truth is, hey mirror mirror. The truth is, I wasn't, child. I've been trying not to clog up the airways or whatnot. I'm trying not to clog up the airways and suck up all the cash apps, bitch. hmm I've been trying not to suck up, catch all the airways and all the cash apps because it's Christmas and things. It's holiday time, people. You know what I mean? It's holiday time, and never would I ever want to think, "Hey, Kay, how you doing, Pudding?" I would never want to feel like I sucked up all the YouTube airways and cash apps. Not little old bitty me, no, absolutely not. But I heard a call from a den mate. I call her my good sis. Hey there, King's Mina girl. You know. Can I get in to clog up the airways and Miss Cruiser, jump in, girl. I don't know how you get in, but just jump on in this bitch, okay? Just jump on in this motherfucker like you had you a good one. Just jump in the bitch. You know what I mean? Hey, Sugarfoots. Hey there, Southern drawl accent. What's going on? So, I ain't want to do none of that there because, like I said, it's the holiday season and I want every hoe to be able to eat. Okay, every hoe deserve a motherfucking seat at the table. Now, every hoe ain't gonna get one, but every hoe deserve one. Oh, if we lived in a world where we got everything that we deserved. Ooh, girl. It'll be a time in the motherfucking land. Now, by the tone of my voice, y'all know by now, I just ain't with the fuck shit today. I'm not. My spirit ain't high enough for me to talk about Sally. I know some of y'all want to talk about Sally. Do y'all want to talk about Sally now? Or you going to get a rough version from me? Or do you want to talk about Sally on the premiere? Or do you want to do Sally on the live? One, for leave me alone. Let me just flow today. Two, just do the damn thing. Or three, do it on a live or a premiere. Go. Sally McNeil is a former bodybuilder who in the 90s was tried and convicted of second degree unalive. Okay. She did about 25 good pieces of years up in there. Okay, see, I'm gonna tell you right now, I ain't in the right state of mind. What did I say 1 minute? What? Because I'm seeing a lot of ones. What did I see? What, girl? What was my options again? Never mind. Fuck it. Y'all tell me. Just write what you want in chat. I read this shit because I don't forgot what the options was. Girl, I'm out balanced today, and I think today I'm just sick of this shit. But we do have a bright start in the motherfucking day. Today is our very own wench, my very own wench. Some of y'all call her an annoying little peon. Some of y'all call her a loudmouth welfare recipient. Some of y'all call her the queen of trolls. Some people call her the queen of 1K. Okay? Today is Pizarro's birthday. And that may not mean shit to some of y'all, but that's everything to her and the people that love and support her. So, will my moderators be so kind as to drop the cash app of Miss Intel into the chat? And if you would like to be a blessing to that young lady on her birthday today, then feel free to do so. If you say, I don't want to get her a dime, a penny, dime, quarter, I don't give a fuck, then that's well within your rights. But I ask you to remain respectful on this day. I missed the live this morning because a bitch just had a lot of shit going on. Okay. And I got up late. I'm a little bit late. Okay. I'm still not altogether there mentally either. So I missed the live. And I'm sorry I missed it. I will catch the full replay later on in the evening. But from the den, I would like to say happy birthday to Mrs. Intel 2. Okay? I hope you have a wonderful birthday. Hey, boss lady, how you doing? Hey, Seasons Beatings. Hey, Keisha. People don't understand, and I ain't trying to explain it. But the little good do touch me some kind of way. Maybe because I see a little me in her. And I'm not dressing it up so you would like her. I'm just telling you how I feel because it's my channel. She's a wild hair. She'll calm down in the days and years to come. But it's something about her I can identify with. And that is why no matter how many times people try to throw a monkey wrench in some shit, it don't never work out. Because I like you. Each and every one of y'all that I see in the chat, I like y'all. I don't have to answer questions as to why I like Hudson J. I wish a bitch would ask me why I like Boss Lady. A hoe don't need to know why I fucks with Cool. Miss Jean is my ace. I don't give a fuck what nobody feels. So don't ask me about her. Just know today is her birthday and happy birthday to you, Miss Intel. Okay? I hope you get everything your heart desires today and that you have the best love filled day you can possibly have. From me to you, from the den to you. We salute you, young lady, and happy birthday, Queen. Hey, Sister Queen, how you doing, honey? How you doing? Now that's all I had to say about that. Moderators, you can keep her cash out rolling throughout the live stream for those who don't have it, don't have a problem with her to send her some birthday love. God bless you to all of you who may want to sing but just can't. Just wish her well on her day. Hey, Rennie T, what's going on, honey? What's going on, Gordo Poppy TV? How you doing, honey? Gordo, can I say something? And I ain't trying to change a motherfucking thing. Hey, RNYTP, good to see you, sugar. Anywho, Gordo, can I tell you something? Hey, Prater. I'm waiting on Gordo to tell me I can say it. YouTube cameras, did I acknowledge you, beautiful? Hey, TMO. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. Okay, go. Listen. Come close. I'm telling you, just between me and you, right? Sometimes when you open up Little Africa, I'll be so here for the shit, right? Cause it don't matter what mood I could be in. These bones might be hurting that particular day, but child, if I go over to your channel, one thing for certain, I'm gonna wind up bouncing or something, and it's gonna bring a joy to my day. But God on my attention span, bruh, like you give me a concert. By the time the concert over, I'm tired. Now I want to pop and shake it. Yeah, I do. But why I gotta have a concert? Do you know I be dancing when that shit be on? I be tired. Miss Intel, let me put it up in here. Oh yes, put Pizarro cash up in the chat so I can put it up on the screen right quick. One of my moderators, oh y'all so ornery today. Look, oh they get on my nerve. Okay, thank you. Somebody did it. All right, that's Miss Intel's cash app. If you want to be a blessing to a child, do what you do. I'll have it up here for you. Okay. But let me see what Gordo say. Gordo, I'll be tired afterwards. Cause honestly, when you playing that music and stuff, it's getting me hyped up. It ain't like I'm just sitting there just waiting on the show to begin. No, child, I'll be up, call myself trying to get it real quick. And it be so long, it's like a concert to me. And I be tired after. I don't even get to stay around and hear what you got to say because I done popped and shook it for about 30 minutes. On your real good shows, could you just give me one less song so I can at least watch 30 minutes to an hour if you stay on that long so I can listen to you? Because I really do be wanting to support. Okay? That's all I'm saying. I be wanting to support. And it's so hard because I be done had a whole concert experience before he even let me know why we gathered together today. That's all. But I'm gonna still watch even if you keep it up the way you do it. I'm gonna watch. I just have to watch you in pieces. I gone to the concert, get that part out the way. That way, when I come back, I can just bypass all that and get to what you talking about. But good shows you have, and you did have a lit. What you must woke up and chose to. to come through like a wrecking ball. I don't know what you was doing today, but honey, I was like, look at Gordo. I was so damn tired. I was tired as hell, child, but I was there. Good show going on. Good show. And you can ignore me, baby, because I might be somewhat like ignorant today. Yeah, he came through. I said, "Oh, I was tired. Woke me out. I owe you a twerk for your birthday, child. I'm gonna have to go live when Gordo live, and child had to throw him a coin so I can play that beginning so you can see me. Cause every time he play that shit, I be fucking it up. I be done had a whole concert. I be so tired, K. Oh, I be so motherfucking tired. Like, goddamn, Gordo, I wanna know what you talking about, but I have to split the shit up. I don't mind doing it. I'm gonna do it anyway. We are still working toward getting my moderator Watermelon Sugar to her 500 subscriber count, and we are praying to do that before the holidays officially kick in. So, what I want to know is, have you done your due diligence today by signing up for Watermelon Sugar's great channel? Don't look at her and think all she offering is makeup. No, child. She has many motherfucking irons in the fire to suit everybody, both male and female. So make your next move your best move. Okay? And subscribe to Watermelon Sugar. Watermelon Sugar, baby, how long? Where we at right now as it pertains to your count? Where are we right now? Well, I'm glad you right here where I'm at, Hudson, honey. I'm glad you where I'm at. 345. Okay, come on, y'all. We can get her up there. So please subscribe to Watermelon Sugar. Okay. Since we are opening, and not that she's new, because definitely she's not, but I do see that a lot of new content creators are popping up on the scene, and I have an appreciation for that. Because, baby, if we get more storylines around here, maybe we can somehow revive this dead ass sector. I'm just saying, we need the new people. Everything must change. Don't let it stay the same, honey. So what you think you may not like, you might actually find out you like. So please subscribe to Watermelon Sugar. Okay, next thing on the agenda. I'm trying to think what the fuck else was I supposed to be talking about. You know what? Fuck it. We gonna talk about salad. Maybe we can educate some people today and encourage them to do better in their lives, okay? Let this be a cautionary tale for women who stick around thinking that he gonna change. He gonna give me a chance. He ain't gonna whoop my ass this time. He said he was sorry last time, and I believe he meant that shit. So he ain't gonna beat me. It's also a cautionary tale of the woman who decides to put her all into an individual. Baby, you ain't supposed to never put all you got into an individual. You a damn fool if you do. Now, it's good to love. We supposed to. Okay? We supposed to. Hey, Tiffy, baby. Hey, Vibrant. But when you start putting everything you got into another person, so much so that at the end of the day you depleted as an individual, girl, you really need to do something else. It's meant to be comical because the story is quite sad, so I have to throw a little something in it to kind of take the edge off of what I'm about to tell y'all, because this is some sad shit and I just refuse to be sad like that. Okay, but I'm gonna tell you the story in a way that will keep you interested in what is going on. Okay, I will be adding some pics on the screen to go along as I so please. But right now, just indulge a bitch. Indulge me. Are y'all willing to indulge me? If you're willing to indulge me, put a one in the chat. I need to know what the people say. Hello, MLW Fishing Man. Hello, child. Hey. Hey, Erica. Sharika. Okay, thank you. Thank you for indulging me. Now, see, I want to talk about the story of Sally McNeil. It's over on Netflix right now. I want you ahead of time to go ahead on and watch the shit so you can follow the story. But some of y'all work. Some of y'all don't got Netflix and ain't bothered to call your cousin to get their passwords so you can watch the shit. Some of y'all said, fuck it, I'm going to go off what you said. Now, for those of you who may be a little confused, we're about to talk about the story of Sally McNeil. It is called Killer Sally. It is airing right now on Netflix. And if you ain't got Netflix, pin that. Pin where, Miss Jean? Okay, hold on. Okay. I can't. Oh, there it is. Is it up there, Miss Jean? Now, thank you, Watermelon Sugar. See, my mom's be on the job, baby. That's why I love these people. Some of the stuff I'm gonna talk about may be triggering, but I think I done took a lot of it out. I'm going to say it in a way that it don't be quite so triggering. But if you cannot stand stories of domestic abuse, now would be the time to leave the show. And you can come back and see me tomorrow when we talking about absolutely nothing. Okay. Let me see if I get to my shit. It opens with Sally McNeil advertising one of her wrestling videos, much like the one shown right here on the screen for you, okay? And then we go to Valentine's Day 1995 and the 911 call to police from Sally stating that her husband was beating her up, and as a result of trying to protect herself, she has shot him. Now, when this story begins, you can clearly see Sally is still incarcerated at the beginning of this documentary, and she is recalling the events that led up to her taking the life of her husband, Ray McNeil. Child, some people say they're sexy. I don't know. I don't like that kind of shit. I really do. Oh, girl, no. So we open up with Sally at the in jail, right? And she begins to tell us about, being in the Marine Corps in 1987, getting into bodybuilding during her military time because she was already an athlete in the first place. And she felt that it was also a way that she could protect herself. And when she said that, I got concerned. I'm going to tell you why I got concerned. Because it's coming out more and more now. But back then, you didn't really hear a lot about women needing to be able to protect themselves from unlawful hunting. We're gonna try to be politically correct in here today, okay? I'm gonna have to say it around YouTube's guidelines, okay? So she spoke of competing in the military once the people found out that she actually was into bodybuilding and she had quite a little physique on her, right? She took fourth place in the military bodybuilding contest, and we saw pictures of how, I'm trying to see, do I have any salads? Girl, I don't think so. So we're going to have to go back to that one. Okay. She got really good at that. We saw pictures in the documentary about, how well toned she was. Then a friend said to her one day, and it's always that friend, ain't it? Everybody got that friend that always want to hook you up with some damn body. So the friend came to her and said, girl, girl, look home, girl. I need you to meet this bodybuilder guy who just came in from deployment from Okinawa, Japan. His name is Ray McNeil. Girl, he saw a picture of you. He saw a picture of you, boo, and he said, damn, I want to meet her. So she agreed. All right, let me go on and meet this Ray McNeil who just came in from deployment from Okinawa, Japan. Okay. And according to her, when she met him, baby, she said it was lust. Okay. Lust, not love at first sight. hmm She said that Ray was beautiful like the statue of David. I didn't say that, but she said that. Okay. She found that they had a lot in common. They liked a whole lot of bodybuilding, of course, and one of their faves was Arnold Schwarzenegger. So, after a very brief courtship, 2 months, I do believe it was, she married this man. She also married him because she thought that he would be a great stepdad to her already two existing children, Shantina, Shantina, and John. hmm She said she gave Ray her all. She said once she loves you, she go all in, and you get all of her. Remember when I said at the beginning of this, right? They soon found themselves a nice apartment in Oceanside, California in the year 1989. She seemed like all would be good, right? Shantina said that she and her mother, she said her mother was entirely in love with her stepdad, Ray. By her recollections, they had a lot of good times, okay? We saw a lot of old clips of Ray and Sally and the kids going to Epcot Center and, being around, being the child of two bodybuilders. When y'all go out in the general public, right? Kind of made you look different from everybody else. So, of course, what is the human nature to do? Look, bitch. They looked at them because they physique, especially Ray. Sally and Ray were an interracial couple. And from her first marriage, she had two mixed kids as well, both with light eyes and blonde hair. So imagine you got this man, this woman, interracial. She already got some interracial kids, okay, and they look different. And then they big as hell. They looking like big monsters because that steroid, which we gonna touch into a little bit later, is pumping through both of them. Well, probably him more than her, and I'll explain that as well, right? Somewhere in all of this time and good times at the damn Epcot Center and all of that, some kind of way, somewhere in all of that, them kids grew to love Ray. Shantina say he was even charismatic, girl, was the word that she used, right? And she said they began to eventually just call Ray daddy. Now, in 1990, Ray and Sally won the Armed Forces Bodybuilding Championship. Ray was working his way to being successful in the bodybuilding world, and in the words of Sally, she was on her way as well. It was both of them had promising careers, right? Ray soon after left the Marines in 1991. He wanted to make it pro, and Sally said if she could have given him the moon, child. Now you know there's some love there. When they say they'll give you the moon, do anybody, girl? That's deep love. I'm gonna give you the moon. She said she could. She would have gave it to him. She worked hard, to keep to help him by remaining in the Marines. She was working a kitchen job with the Marines that she absolutely hated, but hey, they had to pay the rent. She didn't. It didn't allow much time for Sally to work on her own career and aspirations. She was around there dumpster diving for cans to take to the recycling bin for money because money was tight. Sally was the breadwinner. Ray ain't had no job. He was just like Tommy. He ain't had no damn job. And she doing everything all by her motherfucking self. I know that bitch was tired. Girl, you trying to feed a lion and your cubs? Bitch, gotta be a lot. Anyway, Ray into that IFBB North American Championship, and this event attracted amateur bodybuilders from everywhere, hoping to turn pro at some point. In the documentary, we met one of Ray's friends, a man by the name of Shannon Brown, who was also, he was in the bodybuilding, and he also agreed that the IFBB North American Championships was the gateway to being in the pros. So, Ray absolutely killed the competition. Ray was so well put together. Girl, them steroids. Nyca, she can't even eat that food with. Okay, yeah, girl, absolutely. Let me get out this chair because I've been got off. I'm not paying attention. So if you're writing something important, wait till I get done. Write your little comment down if you can't remember. Because ain't none of us young on this bitch, but a couple of us, okay? So your memory you might get a little piece of senior moment. Write your shit down. Wait, and I'm gonna address you, okay? So Ray killed that competition, and that wasn't expected. But he won because he was so well put together. It was just like them biceps and them triceps was everything that a bitch could want. Okay. Shantina said they grew up as bodybuilder fans. They would be in the crowds cheerleading for their parents. She spoke about how exciting that was when she got to meet Lou Ferrigno. If you don't know, that's the Incredible Hulk, the original one. She was starstruck. John had his fun times being the kid of bodybuilders because he would go to these events and them female bodybuilders were cute. Some of them he had crushes on and everything. So all in all, this family was very much involved in the bodybuilding world and was slowly building a name. Then they gave us a little history lesson on the world of bodybuilding, how it has evolved, especially with the introduction of Arnold Schwarzenegger and pumping iron. Okay, he also went on to win. Arnold Schwarzenegger did. He won the Mr. Olympia. Okay, and when he did that, that started setting a trend to where women and men were wanting to get in shape. Mr. Olympia is the masters of bodybuilding, and Arnold Schwarzenegger won it 7 times. Okay, women began to want to be a part of the bodybuilding world. So in 1980, they came up with the U.S. Women Championship bodybuilding. 30 women who were involved in the jump starter that, and they were chosen on who wore best toned up. That's how because they didn't really know how to deal with women in the world of bodybuilding. In the early years, women were not as muscular as you see them today, right? And then we met Linda Murray. She was Miss Olympia 8 times, 1 time more than Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they gave her joy. And according to her, well, she when she entered strength and power, that's what she wanted to project. Strength and power. Homegirl was built up. And Sally knew of her. She wanted to be like her one day. Once again, Sally had a dream, y'all. Sally had a dream, okay? Of course, y'all know that in bodybuilding, women get paid significantly less than what men are paid, right? Then we meet DJ Jeffers, child. He was said to be Ray's best friend who got into bodybuilding by way of Ray. He spoke of how big and well put together Ray was and how people who would come to him trying to meet Ray, want to get autographs and things of that nature. Ray's career was beginning to take shape. And the whole time I'm listening to this, I'm thinking, but what about Sally? Mhm. He was eating well thanks to Sally. Sally was paying the bills. She spoke of a time where she would go out to the Costco's, y'all, because she was ride or die for her man. She would go out to the Costco's and buy those little packs of 8 steaks. John, Shantina, and her would have one, and Ray would have the remaining 5. They said that he ingested 114 eggs a week. Mm. Being a bodybuilder, aspiring to go to the pros, they be a bodybuilder all day long and they are control freaks. DJ said he saw Ray once before a competition, and he was nervous because Ray was so big and well put together. DJ couldn't understand what's wrong with you. Don't you see you a monster now? But Ray was not confident. Okay. Sally said turning pro made Ray more insecure. It didn't boost his security. He got even more insecure. He kept saying he wasn't big enough, and he believed that. Then we go into the world, we dabble into the world of steroids. How they getting that big? Steroids. And it was normal in gyms back then. Sally said, ask anybody in the gym and they will tell you they not on steroids. But everybody on motherfucking steroids. Okay, everybody is on the steroid. Yes, they are. Back then, if you were in the top 5, your ass was on steroids. You know, it began to be a little controversy surrounding performance enhancement drugs around that time, right? When there were, when people began to talk about it and it was outlawed or whatnot, this one promoter who was known to be one of the best promoters in the bodybuilding arena, right? He said he decided one time to do a real drug test, and the physiques were down. One dude even left that after the first round because he knew he looked pretty bad. Later, after that show, a fan came up and said, "Look, I pay VIP seats for you to bring out the freaks, and that's what I want to see." They don't want him doing no more drug testing. Now he ain't say he wasn't gonna do no more drug tests. He said, remember now, he said he did real, meaning that they were authentic, and the people wasn't here for that because they didn't pay 200 plus to come to see anything less than freaks. Okay. Now, let's talk more about Mr. Shannon, who is one of Ray McNeil's former friends, right? He said that he had a steroid business back then too, because he was a gym owner and he took them as well. See, proving that Sally ain't lying about these drugs, but the thing is, don't nobody, none of them at that period knew what it would do to you psychologically. They knew about the effects of it physically, but they didn't know what that kind of shit was doing to them back then. And you know, the bigger you are, the better you are in the world of bodybuilding. He said that when he purchased steroids, he would get extra and sell to his friends. And when Ray learned of this, what they call in the gym, because they don't say steroids in the gym, child, they say it's a secret. He began to get Ray whatever he wanted. Sally met Shannon through Ray. She saw that he was, what that secret was doing for Ray. So she thinking to herself, you know what, shit, if you can make him big, make me big too. I'm gonna get me some too. She said she wasn't on steroids at the beginning. Okay. So it was her first time. And she don't usually follow the crowds, but she wanted to do it because, and this is, listen to this, ladies. She don't normally follow the crowd. She ain't never been on no steroids. But she took them this point because she wanted her husband's approval. For females, when they began to take steroids, a Adam's apple might pop up, bitch. Their voice may go real, real low, lower than that girl. Okay. Sally never used testosterone, though. She said, according to her, women should never use testosterone because it would cause male pattern baldness. You know, she didn't want them other problems, no damn deep ass boys. She didn't want all of that. So, although she was on them, she was not on them heavily. But I don't know how much you gotta be on for you to feel some effects from it. So let's go on. She said she couldn't really even afford steroids because Ray was getting the majority of them. Sally took her kids down to Tijuana, Mexico, for the love of this man. This woman would get in her Firebird and drive out, okay? Drive out to Tijuana, Mexico, risking getting caught when she tried to come back into the United States with steroids. Because, see, down there in Tijuana, you can go to the pharmacy and you don't have to have a prescription. So she would go to Tijuana with her children, go to the pharmacy, buy the drugs, and she had a stash in the back of her car in case they would stop. And she had that with her children in the car with her. Now, when the interviewer asked her about this, she admitted that she did it, but she knew that taking her kids with her on those type of missions was definitely a sign of bad parenting, and she wasn't too proud of it, so she didn't even want to talk about it. In fact, she got upset. Okay. Shantina recalled both her parents took steroids, but it wasn't mentioned much in their home. But what did happen when her parents started popping these steroids, the fights began to become more frequent. Ray began to verbally abuse Sally, telling her that he was the superior bodybuilder and everything should be going toward me. See, bitch, let me tell you what it is. It's all about me. I got the better physique. I got the better chance. I got the better opportunities. What I need you to do is be my good little do bitch and keep making sure I get everything that I need. Okay. At that point, we visit Sally early life, and she said she was never good enough. And if you watch the documentary, did you see the reaction when just saying the words "not good enough" of how it affected her? And now here she is in a relationship, a marriage with a man is basically feel like he the most important person in the family. Even tried to get her to give up her dreams. Okay, just give it up, girl. Invest in me. If you an investment in me is a good thing, girl. We going all the way. We going all the way. Just me, you, and our two cubs. Okay, we gonna go all the way. Mm. He wanted her dreams, for the most part, to be his dream. A lot of bodybuilder women back then did have side jobs. They made money doing these things called strength contests, and Sally did that. In fact, Sally was very good at it. And then one day, this man named Bill Wick approached her and asked her about wrestling, child, more ways to make money for who? Ray. Okay? Bill Wick was the creator of these bodybuilder wrestling videos, and he would sell them. all from his home. Basically, he had Sally come into the world of wrestling these men on video. Bill started paying Sally $50 an hour, but Sally soon started realizing, why should I let these men exploit me? I'm gonna do my own thing. But guess what? The whole time she around here in these little old bitty outfits, putting niggas all between her legs and all these things, grabbing men, throwing them around and things of that nature, even though it was all staged. Her husband Ray had no problem with his wife being out there like that. Hell, he even participated. Why did he not have a problem with it? Because if she can make a coin, mm-hmm, if she can make a coin, it can help me further my agenda, getting the steroids and everything else that it encompasses. If she can stay working, right? So he had no problem with it because it benefited him. After some time, she decided that she ain't let nobody exploit her, and she started her own production company of women bodybuilders, wrestling people, and shit like that. In '93, she got out of the military, and according to her, that was around the time she had her best competition. She placed fifth in the United States in an amateur show. And from that, it refueled her desire to go pro. But she stuck with wrestling. She wanted to go, child, she wanted to go. But she had to put that aside to continue wrestling because it was more money. Men who pay women bodybuilders to wrestle with them were called smooths in the bodybuilding world. Sally don't like that term, and I'll explain later on in the documentary review of why. But when she was wrestling these smooths, she was getting about $300 to do that, which was good from back then. And child, if she do the math, if she do 10 men in one day, time child 10 times 300, she made a coin, right? From all walks of life and professions these men came, from the Wall Street Journal type of dudes to the garbage dudes. They all came. At this time, Ray ended up placing 15 because, you know, in this competition, he was very upset about that. He was. He won the competition. It was a huge thing, but even though Ray was big as hell, even though Ray was pumping nonstop steroids of all kind in his system, he placed 15th in that competition and became very, very upset. According to Sally, he took his frustrations out on her. We learned a little about Ray beginning. He was given up by his mother at 2 weeks old. His aunt took him in. He was raised in poverty. Sally recalled one time when she went to visit the woman who had raised Ray with him, and the wall was papered with newspaper. There were bare floorboards, and they had roaches all over the place. But Sally said that woman was very kind, and she raised him. Ray also shared with Sally that when he was a boy, that his aunt let this boy come and live inside the home, and he was hunching him without consent. Okay, the boy made him perform hunching acts on him. So Ray had demons, but was said to be a gentle giant, just one with a short fuse. That's what they said. Okay. Ray was called uh, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by the step kids. That's what John and Shantina said. I didn't say it, child. That came out the churn mouth, okay? Shantina remembers a time she would be up late waiting on him to come home because apparently he did have some form of a job. I don't know how he was getting paid when she ran here dumpster diving for cans and stuff, but he did have some form of a job. He was a bouncer at a nightclub, and it was her norm to wait for her stepfather, to get home. And Shantina recalled a time waiting on him, and He came home, child, he was full of blood. He didn't even realize she was there. Now, this is her normal thing. He was so out of it, the panic in his face. She said she began to help clean him up, and he basically told her some bad guys fighting at a bar, and he had to protect himself because they were trying to kill him. He stuck this one individual in the eye, and he think the person may be blind. Now she says she don't know if it was true or not, but it was the first time he asked her to not tell anybody anything about this night. That's what she said. His best friend came back and corroborated the story, say Ray didn't get arrested because they knew him, but the guy really did lose his sight. Mm-hmm. Girl, do you know the level of anger you got to be in to pluck an eyeball eye? I don't know. Now, during this time, Ray appeared to be a nice guy, but he was a monster. That's what Sally said. Sally said, but nobody ever knew because she held his secrets deep within her bosom. She didn't let anybody know. She spoke about how he choked her when they would get into it, and how she feared one day he would unalive her honey. Sally recalls how bad it was and how she should have left him, actually 3 days after they got married, because he punched her in the face. Hmm. And then she said she went back because, every time he would beat her up, he would apologize. And she believed it was for, she believed it when he said he was sorry because he was so good at apologizing. He broke her damn nose, child. He broke her nose one time as they watched the TV and the kids witnessed that shit. So not only is this man and you not on the same wavelength, he's not only just abusing you verbally and physically, but now he is traumatizing your children because they are witnessing all this unfold. But stick with me, if you will. She told us about a time when he broke her nose and she reported to her first office, her first sergeant. He was sent to the medical. She was sent to medical. Her diagnosis was a broken nose from spousal abuse. They took Ray to the breed, but then they released him. And child, do you know what he went and did? I'm sure you do. It's a pattern with him, child. He went and beat the hell out of her again so that she would drop the charges, and she did. She said she did because she said, by now I'm afraid. But she also said at this point, she was used to a certain level of violence. Hmm. She said she was used to a certain level of violence. Hell, it's been a part of her life, all her life. She told us that her stepdad would beat the hell out of her and her siblings. That's what she said. When they talked to John about how he felt about Ray, he said his relationship with John was violent. Hmm. He said Ray would abuse and beat them often, especially when Sally was gone. So not only is Sally being victimized, but her children are had to endure it as well. John told us about a time that he came home from school. Back in the day, they used to put the smiley face on the chair and pin it on there. But if it's turned upside down, that means that they did something in school. And the parent would ask, well, he asked them, why your smiley face upside down? And he said because he was talking. And Ray got up from the couch, went to the back, and he could hear him, the crack of the bell. Came back and told him, you in school now, so I won't be whooping you with my hand. I'm gonna be beating your ass with this belt, and that's what he did to him. John saw Ray as the devil, and in his words, he hated him. So at this point in the documentary, I'm looking at Sally crazy because saying that you can't believe he did this to your children, but why wouldn't he do it to them? He ain't got no regards for you. Oh, you thought your kids were safe? Oh, okay. And this man on steroids, several of them. So he's not always functioning in his higher self. Ray was beating the hell out of you. So how far fetched is it for him to become violent with your children? Shantina remembers Sally asking Sally, why are you putting this man before us? I mean, why are you letting him beat you? He ain't our father. We can just get up and leave. Because her mom didn't do it, that made her feel like she was choosing Ray over them. In the documentary, we met the only friend that we seem to have met in this whole entire documentary about Sally, one friend, and that lady name was Peggy Hook. And she told about the abuse because Peggy saw the bruises. It ain't like Sally had an outlet. She just went, girl, he did it again. Girl, he done did it again. Girl, give me some ice. He done did it again. No, she would come over there in cast. She would have uh, bruises on her face, bruises on her body. And Peggy remember asking Sally, just leave. But Sally would not hear of it. He was her everything. Now, Ray's friend DJ admitted that he saw bruises as well, but said he never saw them really fight, except for her getting in his face and pushing him. And usually when it got to that, he was out of there, okay? He also spoke about the shotgun in the home that made him nervous as well, right? He said, she said she had it for security because Ray was gone a lot. Sarah said Ray abused her, but he did things to her. Let me see how I'm gonna say this. The abuse doesn't just ass whoopings, okay? The abuse began to be I'ma hunt you when you don't want to be hunched, okay? I'ma hunt you when you don't want to be hunched. Because to him that means if you gonna hunch me, then you done forgave me for what it is. Girl, I might have bust you in your eye, but if you let me hunch on you, if you let me hunch on you. Mm-hmm. Because see, in Ray's mind, he feel like every orifice in that woman's body was his, and she admits to being broken at that point. She just was broken. And that was the end of the first one, okay? Then we're going to go into the unaliving of Mr. California. Sally said it was instilled in her that she was the violent one, but she feels that she is being attacked. It is her right to protect herself. We are 8 years into this marriage with Ray, and she is hoping things will get better, but no, it ain't getting no better. Each time he prepared for a show, he increased his steroid usage and the beatings got worse. According to Sally, a friend of hers was unalived by her partner, and we saw the news clipping of it as well. She was unalived by her partner, and he did it through strangulation. And that struck a chord in her because she realized that could be her. And she became aware at that point that Ray was going to take her life. Really? Uh. She made plans to leave, see. She was going to go back to Allentown, Pennsylvania, where she come from. And her mom was selling a home, but made her an offer. She said, Sally, if you give me $50 a week, you can move in. Now, the kids was fourth and sixth grade by now, right? Both her kids, fourth, sixth, right? She was going to collect enough money and told the kids to be prepared when she give the word to pack fast. But it ain't never happened. It ain't never happened, girl. On February the 14th, 1995, a normal day, Sally set out to spend time with her kids, be the best mom she can be the best wife she could be. She spent time with the kids. And when they came in from a day's out, Ray wasn't home yet. Sally was looking for him, trying to figure out what's going on. And later in the evening, Sally figured, hell, it's Valentine's Day. We might as well celebrate a little bit. but he ain't here. Where could he be? Oh, McCabe's. McCabe's is this nice little bar that we frequent. I know Ray definitely frequents it. So let me go down here to the neighbor house and ask her, can she watch these children so I can go over to McCabe's and see where my husband is, right? So as she putting on her makeup, child, she putting on her makeup and whatnot, Ray come in and ask her, where the hell you going? She said, going to find you. So apparently at this point, an argument ensued. Shantina recalls her mom asking Ray where he had been. She was asking questions, and now, according to Sally, um, it was 3 days out from an event. So he is full of steroids, right? He had 5 different steroids, according to, well, what the hell? She pocket dialed. She pocket dialed with Miss Jean. She pocket dialed. She listening, but Keisha girl, you done been typing in here all kinds of weird shit. If you up your pocket dialing, girl, get your gadget, get your gadget. So as I stated, he had 5 different steroids in his body because he was 3 days away from another competition. All right. Shantina said that it was an unnatural feeling in the house that evening, right? She also recalls hearing her mom begin to choke. Sally said she told him he looked like shit and he hit her in her face. Then the choking started and she felt like her life was at stake. She said she scrambled away, went into the bedroom, retrieved the gun, and got 2 rounds. And as she's walking into the living room, she's loading around. Now, according to her, she didn't know what he was going to do. He had 5 different steroids in her body. He was superhuman, according to her. She said that he was super fast in a small apartment. So she asked him to leave. He said no, and she shot him. Mhm. Shantina made it out the bedroom round about the second shot because she thought he had ended her mom's life. She came out there with a baseball bat and tried to help him. John woke up because he heard his sister crying, but he stayed in the room because he saw Ray laying on the floor anyway. So what the hell? Remember, he don't see it for him. Sally says she walked outside, handed the weapon to a neighbor, so police would know that she wasn't going to shoot anybody else. She was done, and she made that frightful 911 call. Ray was on the ground crying and asking why. John was relieved. He finally came out of the room, stepped right over his body. He was happy because whether Ray lived or died, he knew at least he would never be able to beat them again. Ray went to the hospital via ambulance. Shantina, John, as well as Sally, ended up at the police department. And I was saying to myself, now, bitch, this is traumatizing to your kids. This is traumatizing to your kids. We all saw in the documentary the kids go through the interrogation where they had to tell their stories. Sally was interrogated. She told her story. Ray died. Sally was charged. The kids went to foster care center first and ended up with the grandparents back in Pennsylvania, who was now settled and made a good life for the kids. Now, at this point of the stream, before I get into the court thing, I need you all to take yourself back to the early 90s, late 80s. Remember when they used to think that battered women syndrome was nothing? They had no clue about how deep that is for women who actually experience that in their life. Excuse me, I'm trying to find trying to find something to hold this down. Okay. Now, because it was not something that researchers and things of that nature had actually did studies. Child, I can't think that far back. I was born in 92. Oh, well, then, no. You wouldn't know about it anyway, because if you were born in 92, it wouldn't have been nothing, child. You'd have been a child. So, what I'm saying is, they did not understand battered women syndrome. They did not understand its shapes. They did not understand how people go. And that's how come Sally went on trial, and her defense attorney, who did have some form of knowledge of it, did want to make it appear as self-defense. However, everybody turned their back on her when Ray McNeil died. Everybody turned their back on her. When she went up for probation, the people who helped her were those people that I spoke of earlier, called smos. You know, the men who have fetishes, want to wrestle with these bodybuilding women. They didn't turn their back on her, and they helped her. They helped her to make bond. She wanted to get with her children again, but she don't know how long this is going to be, and she don't know if she's going to be convicted or not. So why uproot her children again? And this is one of the only times I think she was really thinking logically. Why go and uproot my kids when I don't know if I'm going to prison or not? So although I'm sure there was communication, she didn't see her kids the year that it took for this case to go to trial. We all know that the district attorney wanted to go for first degree. What ended up happening, she was convicted of second degree unaliving. And she spent 25 years in prison. She is now out. When she got out, she went to stay at this vocational rehabilitation place that helps, I guess, veterans reacclimate into society after incarceration. There she met her now husband, Norfleet. She says she's happy. She don't really like how things went in her trial. It's some stuff she would like to appeal, but she just so happy to have freedom again. Okay? Now, John and Shantina. Yeah, I did a jump. What the hell? You got to go watch the shit. I ain't here to tell you to play by play. I did a jump. Shut up, Spam. Anyway, I didn't want to go no further with the interrogation part. I said all I was supposed to say about it. They were interrogated. They told their stories. She still got charged. They went to stay with some people. Now, shut up, Spam. Shit. Anyway, like I said, remember when I was saying how that shit was going to have a negative effect? Both our kids ended up going to the military. Both of them deal with PTSD. John is doing, I feel like John took he took it harder what had happened in his childhood and the things that he's seen. Because when he went to the military, he ended up doing 5 deployments. So I'm sure he saw a lot of violence there. He grew up in nothing but violence. So when he finally left the military, he became a drug addict. He don't even want to be around no more drugs. No more violence. He don't want to be around no more motherfucking violence. Shantina, she's suffering at home, even though she got a family apparently. She still has a lot of PTSD as well. I was conflicted in this story. And the reason why I was conflicted is because I think I'm looking at it from today's standpoint. And even in today's standpoint, you have women that stay in this shit. First of all, y'all pumping steroids. We've all heard the horror stories about what steroids can do to you psychologically. You basically building a body for competition. You pushing your body to the limits. Your brain as well. You with a man that you know ain't good for you. But you stay anyway. And I don't believe she stayed because she loved him. I believe she stayed with that man because she felt like she had nobody else. She was tired of losing. Remember, she had her first husband. His name was Anthony Loudon. He beat her motherfucking ass too. Those are John and Shantina's father. He beat her too to the point where she went to counseling, and I guess that counseling helped her some kind of way because she left his ass. She said she didn't deserve that, and she wanted to find happiness, and she found what she thought was her everything in this man. It never worked when you really leave with lust like that. Remember, she didn't say it was love at first sight. She said it was lust. Plus, she wanted a daddy for her children. Be careful what you ask for. You got to be specific, girl. You got to be specific in your asking. Don't go out here asking. Girl, be specific in what you asking, okay? Although I understand that she was dealing with abuse all her life, I guess because the parenting that I had helped me understand it and know that I deserve better. But see, she never had that because her daddy used to whoop her mama ass and beat them. I try not to be too judgmental on her because I understand that she was just a part of a generational curse. I do hope that her children break it. I really do hope her children break it. She over here living her best life, but her children are still living in trauma. She got her ass whooped her whole life. I don't know what they look like. So I don't feel that it's fair for me to pass judgment like that on her. I wasn't getting my ass whooped my whole life. It's such a sad and tragic story. But I'm going to drop the link because I said I would. And I hope I told you enough of this story that if you have not gone over there to the Netflix and watched it, that you will go and watch it. Because it's worth a look. It's very telling. And I'm trying to be very, very gentle in the things that I say because I don't know who up in here, what your circumstances may be, what you may have seen. Thank you, Miss Jean. There are parts I left out, but everything that was key, I told y'all about it. Y'all don't really, you can go watch it to see the different phases of interrogation and how them kids acted when they realized they were going to be separated from their mom for a while. I don't know what they feel like to have to grow up getting your ass. And then what the saddest part of it was to me, you knew she grew up in dysfunction. This girl went to college, East Stroudenburg. Oh, girl, I done watched this so many times. It's in my head, Miss Jean. University. Went through 3.5 years, had one semester left in school, and all she wanted to be was a damn gym teacher. Her parents were so ornery. Now, they didn't even want to help her financially be able to complete that final semester in school so that she could have became a gym teacher and maybe never have met the likes of a Ray McNeil. because she only went to the Marine Corps, even though she had a brother and an uncle who had been in there before. She didn't plan on going in the Marines. She went to the Marines because she had nowhere to go. And they put her right in a position to meet somebody like Ray McNeil. Ray had his demons too. Ray, I don't know what it feels like to have your mama give you up at 2 weeks old and sit you in the lap of poverty. Now, I will tell you this because I'm very transparent. My lifestyle did change once my mother passed away. But we ain't had situations like that in my house. So yes, my life was forever changed. My lifestyle, I had to adapt. And that was hard for me because I ain't gonna lie, my mama used to spoil us. We lived nice. We was like upper middle class. But December 17th, 1987, my life forever changed. And ever since then, I have been working, trying to bring normalcy to my life. And I worked hard to bring it to my children because I was not going to, mm-mm, I couldn't see myself being there. It's a lot. I kid you not, it is truly a lot. So if I struggled for years going into what was an emotional abusive situation after coming out of a physical abusive situation, I can only imagine what this girl's life was like. When that lady said she had the, and this the part that really touched me, because I'm gonna share something with y'all again that I shared before, so it ain't nothing they can work out on me with. When she said I was in my I was 3.5 years in one semester, and I would have had my degree so I can go and be a gym teacher. It took me back to when I wanted to be an attorney. See, I do this on here, but y'all really don't know who I truly am. You don't have any idea about my background. You have no idea what I aspire to be. Even today, you have no clue about who is before you. I remember I was real good at American studies, and we used to have Louisiana law. I loved that class because we ended up doing this thing called a mock trial where we were giving real life cases, we were given all the evidence, and my school was actually going to go to the actual courthouse and play this out in front of a judge. Oh, I worked tirelessly, gave up my weekends, my evenings. Child, I wasn't even sneaking being able to watch Dynasty, and we all know Lady Nyca like Dynasty. But I gave it up because I wanted to be the best defense attorney this side of the Mason Dixon line, bitch. Okay. Worked with real attorneys side by side, and they prepped me on how to present this defense case for this so-called defendant. I mean, accuser. Right? Worked my ex-cotton picking tail off, child. Went down to the courthouse that Saturday morning, presented my case. Bitch, I was ready that day. My auntie was on that fuck shit, but I raised the roof until she got me the right attire. Baby, I came in there dressed for the role. But I didn't give a damn about the dress, but I wanted the dress nevertheless. And I presented the prosecution, they presented their case, brought forth their evidence, called their witnesses. Bitch, when it was time for motherfucking cross examination, I was knocking them bitches out. I was remembering things because you can't always have that paper in front of you. I was quoting statues on they motherfucking ass. I wasn't letting it slide, baby. Objection what, bitch? Object what? Okay. I absolutely soared in that. And it was easy. It seemed like it came second nature because I always fight for the underdog. I always do. Know why? Because I always felt like I was the underdog. And all the underdogs of the world don't have the strength, the tenacity to be able to defend themselves properly. Even on day to day circumstances, you don't. But if I don't know how to do nothing else, bitch, I know how to defend myself. I'm a fighter for real. I fight with my words, and many a times I fought with my actions. Okay? So that's why I wanted to do this story. That one, you ever been watching a movie and you be like, all right, it's all right, ain't nothing I want to watch again. But you hear this one thing in that movie, documentary, whatever you want to call it, and it's that one thing that you hear that makes you look at that shit totally different. And that's what happened for me. When she said all I wanted was help for one semester and they denied me, and I knew I had nowhere to go, so I had to go to the military, that touched me. I also know what it feels like to be scared to move around. That's why I tell women all the time. I know y'all women of a particular age, y'all know better, but by just by some happenstance, I might actually have a live that 2 years from now, some young girl, some young woman who is going through something hear me, and that makes a difference in how she moves forward in an abusive relationship. Get out. And in today's time, it's not just women. So to the man who is being abused and mistreated, and you know that shit ain't right, find your strength and get out. Love don't feel like that. When I finally found out what love truly feels, child, I could kick my own ass for all the years that I allowed myself to feel anything less. I ain't never gonna let a motherfucker ever not show me true love. It's real shit. But that's what I had to say. Again, I'm gonna drop the link one more time because y'all wanted to hear this, and now y'all ain't giving me no participation. But then again, I may have just said enough, and all is well with you, and that's fine as well. I'm kind of glad that I did come on today. Shout out to Purple Peach. Shout out to Purple Peach. Oh, you're welcome, Queen Santa. Anybody's welcome to hit the link that wants to talk about what we just went over. I'm glad I came today because I wasn't really feeling this. I was like, fuck this. I wasn't going to come through at all. Okay, hold on. There's someone backstage. We got company, y'all.
Oh, so today you want to put the banner up.
Girl, I ain't trying to hear this shit.
Well, you're going to hear it, ma'am. Okay, so I do want to talk about it because I watched it. I did some research on it. It was very interesting. Like they were beating, both of them were beating both their asses up. Ooh, excuse me. Both of them were being on each other.
They did because they both had curses on them from childhood. Imagine what he felt like growing up, knowing your mama done dumped you two weeks after she gave birth to you.
Yeah, he had restraint on her at one point in time.
Their lives was for it was just jacked up how both of their stories went. It did. Now, excuse me. Do
And her
I
poor
feel like his life should have ended in death? No.
and her poor daughter, we lived the whole life all over again. What her mama went through, she went through it.
Had the strength to get out though.
That's the definition of a generational curse right there.
Them kids were they they were set up. They, you know how you supposed to set your kids up for success. Girl, them children was set up for failure because they mama was a wreck.
Like there was
Hold on one minute.
so take your time.
Talk to the people a minute.
Yeah, there was like so much stuff like she left out. Like y'all need to see it, but as soon as those kids turned 13, that's when their life went to hell. Like for real.
Yeah,
Like I ain't gonna tell y'all because y'all need to see what happened. But trust and believe, as soon as they turn 13, their lives change forever.
them beatings got real severe. And then I don't even
Hmm.
think I could have took that.
And
Like
then she let it
she ain't really
happen.
think that he would be abusive to her children. That's the part that was confusing to me. Cause I'm like, girl, if he kicking your ass in front of them, you already know. And I ain't gonna never I wanna we didn't touch much on it, but I will say this again. Studies have proven that steroids are not good for you for your brain. It
Nope.
causes psychological damage, and I believe that that's a big part of what was going on because the autopsy report on him found 5 different steroids in him and
And
one
in
type
her.
in hers.
Exactly, D dot. Exactly. She had to go back, reload, put the old shotgun down, pick one up, the reload, and walk back in there. That was premeditated.
She could, yeah, it was, and they could tell because, like they said, what really convicted her was you say you shot him the first time because he came at you. Well, the second shot was to his face, and according to the blood spatter that was under the lamp, opposed to being at the top of the lamp, if he was really advancing towards you, that blood spatter wouldn't have been under that lamp. It would have been at the top, but the blood was at the bottom, suggesting that he was on the ground when she shot him the second time.
And the casing itself was on the dresser in the room next to the other shotgun pellets. That means you went back in the room after you shot him to reload. That was premeditated.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. But it was good. It was
It was
pretty good.
good.
Hold on. We got company, honey. Hold on, Puddin.
I
Queen.
got company.
What the hell?
Hey, boo.
Hey,
Did you watch it, Queen Santa? You watch it?
I ain't watched it yet, but you know stuff like this, I barely even want to listen. Like, but it just be feeling like people be, I don't know, like I'm listening to y'all talk about it, and at first I won't gonna come, and then she said that one little thing you had to go and get reload your gun,
Yeah.
Hmm.
and then do it again. You know what I'm saying?
And
I
they
don't
said,
think.
I don't want you to think I ain't see that coming because I put it up on the screen. It is alleged that she did that because he was attempting to leave her.
Yeah. They said he was in love with another woman,
He
like
was in love with a whole
love,
nother
love.
woman.
Child. Mm.
How dare you
Oh,
leave me after I have sacrificed my professional dreams and I've given blood, sweat, and tears. I done stayed in the military. I done let you beat my ass for years. I done supported your dream. I have done this, that, and the other for you. How dare you think you can leave me? Girl, you should have been glad that the man was leaving you, but see, your self-worth was
that's
in the toilet.
see, that's why I say that part can't be all the way true. Cause somebody that did all of that would be glad, would be happy, would
They
be
said it was she was there. Like he didn't love her. Like the person that he was in love with, like he truly loved, did not hit her, spend time with her. Okay, so
That's a lie.
sadly he met on Valentine's Day. That's when they first started dating. And he ended his life ended on Valentine's Day.
Right.
Like
Mm-hmm.
no, but they said the person that he loved. No, they said she said his best friend said that
Do
no.
you really think that somebody in a rage could stop hitting one person? Could just hit this one person, not hit another?
Hell no.
No, he was beating on her too. She just was hiding it.
He was beating the hell out of her ass, and she would always make excuses for her. But even though I feel like she did kind of have a touch of battered women syndrome, if that is a
What
thing,
is
which I
that?
believe it is,
What is that?
I believe she had it. But I also think that she was off too. She It was like,
Mhm.
okay, girl, you feel like you didn't have to do all that. I guess is what I'm saying. She had a choice. She
What
had a
was her
choice.
choice?
Like y'all know
Girl,
those belts
if
they
your
wear around their
parents got a
waists.
home, huh?
I say I was telling the audience, you know those belts that they wear when they want to push racks up? No, do the push ups in those
Uh-huh.
weight belts. He was
Mm-hmm.
beating the sun with those belts.
Yes, that's why he was glad. The son was glad he when he was on
Right.
the ground dying.
Yeah, I think that's Queen Sandy's background.
You don't think
What
that she
what's
was
my
out,
background?
yo? How?
What's my background?
They hear something in the background.
We got
Oh.
feedback or something. But Namyo, how you don't feel like? Hold on a minute, we got a guess.
I gotta drop down in 10 minutes. I gotta get ready for my daughter's doctor's appointment.
Watermelon sugar.
It's me.
Hey, boo
Hey,
boo.
watermelon.
Hey, I
Hey,
just wanted to
honey.
add something real quick that kind of like caught my attention. You know, like somebody that's being abused, especially physically, they do everything that they can to avoid setting off and triggering the other person. Um, but when she said he came in, he was already upset and they were arguing, and she was like, "You look like shit. You're not even gonna place." She knew that that was a big trigger for him because he was very sensitive about his striations, his body build, the way he looked compared to other people. So why would you set him off and say he looked like
You
shit
wanna
when
know
you
why?
knew that
Because
was gonna make him mad?
I'm gonna tell you why.
Hit the link, D dot.
I'm gonna tell you why somebody would do that just to piss somebody off when you already know the end result. It's kind of like, do you know how much guts it took for her to pull that trigger?
Yo,
So
he was already
that means she was
subconscious.
at the end. She was at the end where her mind was starting to change about shit. I mean, excuse my language.
No,
Change about stuff.
no, she was
And
like,
so when you're at that end now, you're any little get back is like, look at you. Like
no, she was
it's
fully
like,
invested though. She was fully invested, and with him, he was always the smallest. Like everybody was like 6 feet tall.
yeah,
He was
she
only
was she
five.
was poking.
He was only 5'7", so he was
You
already
gotta think about it.
subconscious.
You gotta think about it, Dolly. You gotta think about it, Dolly. If somebody's already halfway killing you, right? You're not really scared no more about that pot. So now you starting to starting to feel a certain way. So now you're gonna start poking. You're gonna start poking because now it's either you're gonna kill me or you're gonna
It was the
let it
fact
go.
that I think the last straw was when it was their anniversary, the day that they met, Valentine's Day, and he chose to spend it with
Hmm.
another person.
Right. And that was her last straw.
Mhm. The day they met, it's the day they
So
died. They
y'all
died.
think it was when a woman's fed up?
I
It
don't know though
definitely
because I under,
was.
I understand what you're saying, but at the same time though, if you are a battered woman and you're so afraid that this man is gonna kill you,
Because
why would
afraid
you
doesn't
poke
say
hard at him?
anything.
But
Because afraid
at
isn't
the
it
same
afraid it's
time,
not the same thing as you being afraid. Like being a battered woman is just it's not the same afraidness. Like I don't know how to say it or know how to like describe it, but it's a different kind of scaredness. It's like because I could cuss you out and still get my behind whooped.
But he
You
was getting his.
understand?
He was also getting his ass beat by her. Oh, sorry for cursing. He was also getting beat up by her. Like he was. She was laying in on him too. So it's both goes both ways. Because at
Right,
one
that's what
point
I'm
in time,
saying. I feel like she was just as aggressive as he
yeah.
was.
Because at one point in
And
Why
time,
do
he
y'all
did
feel
have a
that
restraint.
way?
At one point in time, he did have a restraining order against her.
So,
Like they were both laying into each other.
well, and even his friend said that she would provoke him and start fights and stuff. I don't know. It was a lot. I think it was a lot of abuse from both sides. Both of them were in the wrong. I don't feel like
right.
he deserved to lose his life, but
Agreed.
I do.
I do feel like it was both of them equally. And I think that because we have to also keep in mind that at this time, steroids weren't really researched. Domestic
Right.
violence was different than it is now. Like all of these things were different in that time. But I think that they both played a huge role in it. I think they were both just toxic people in and of themselves and had a lot going on and a lot of baggage and a lot of emotional damage that they were dealing with from their own childhoods, their own past relationships or whatever. And then the two of them coming together with the steroids and their predisposition from everything that they had been through in life, it was just an explosion.
But
And
just
I
think if
think,
she wasn't on the steroids, Watermelon.
But my thing
Just
is
think if
though,
she wasn't on them steroids, how badly she could have been hurt.
my thing is
well,
though,
she
your
could have been
child.
badly hurt anyway, but I think at that point, the only people that I feel sorry for is the children, because
Agreed.
Right.
you have to think about it. These are bodybuilders, big ass bodybuilders beating on little children. Like, I just, I think it's one thing if you choose to stand by somebody, you choose to go through hell with that person. But when you allow your children to be abused, and there's no way that you can convince me that that little boy and that little girl didn't say, "Mommy, when you leave, he's whooping us." She wasn't washing him
She
up.
knew.
Hold on, wait, wait,
She
wait.
didn't
Even
see the
that, not even
Oh,
bruises.
that.
she knew.
Not even no, she
But
knew. Hold on, Queen. Hold on for a
like
second.
I've never I
Damn,
what Dolly?
I was talking. You keep cutting me off.
Sorry.
I was saying he beat that child with the weight belt. He had black and blues from his neck all the way down to his feet. He had him in long clothes, long t-shirts. Told the teachers if he told anybody, his sister was going to get like he got it. And the little boy was trying to protect his sister.
Right, I understand that, but being a mother, I
She
see about
knew.
my children.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
but
saying
see,
she
that's what
knew.
I'm saying. That's where it crosses the line for me when you allow your children to go through things, and you don't do anything about it. That's where, if that's what y'all want to do your thing. But when it comes to the children, they don't deserve that. They don't have any choice in the matter.
She
All they
said
can
she
do is do
knew
their best to stay out the way.
Okay, so what do you think made her stay? Even though we all know she knew.
the fame and the
What was the
notoriety of
question?
the fame and notoriety of being with him.
Wow.
Because what now?
The fame and notoriety of being with him because they say he was going to be the next Mr. Olympian.
Yeah. He did
Yeah, I
become
definitely
Mr.
think that
Olympia,
she
didn't
He
he?
was he was a powerful player in the like everybody knew him. Everybody wanted him. She was with him.
Yeah, I
By
think
being
she
with him gave
definitely
him
fed
by
off
being
of
with
the
him.
social status that she got with being associated with him. But I don't know. I think the whole thing is just messed
And
up. If anything,
she was love struck on her money. Yep, exactly, Kay. She spent too
I
much
think
money
she
on him
should have
in that
also
relationship.
not only went to jail for murder, but went to jail for child neglect and a
Oh
slew of other things.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I mean, I understand, that battered women syndrome. It's not that easy to just pick up and
Battered
leave,
women
contrary to what some
syndrome.
people may believe, especially when you have little ones. But at a certain point, you're
Mm.
responsible for them, and you have to do what you have to do to make sure that they're safe and they're protected. And she failed to do that as a mother. I think that, to me, that's worse than her killing him. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that part.
Anyway, I just wanted to add my little 2 cents. I'm gonna drop back down. Happy
Yeah.
birthday, Pizarro.
Happy birthday,
Thank you
Pizarro.
for
I
coming
got
up,
yeah.
boo.
I'm
You
about to drop
welcome.
down. I'm about to drop down too. I gotta
Yeah.
go. But before I go,
All
can I
right. I appreciate you ladies coming up and talking with me a minute.
Hi.
Thank you,
Nika,
good.
Yeah.
Auntie, the one I was telling you about comes out Thursday.
Okay.
Which one is that, Dolly?
The I am Vanessa Guillaume.
Are we gonna have a discussion about that? I need to watch it so we can have a discussion about it.
Probably
I really
knowing me,
want
you
to.
know I'll watch you get triggered and make a laugh.
Yeah, because I've been like, that's the one story I've been watching from the beginning to the end. Because that one
Okay.
was like, whew, that's gonna trigger some folks for real.
Well, that's good. I like to jog memories and brain cells up like that. Sometimes you need to have those type of discussions. So I'm gonna check it out. And like I said, if I get triggered, you'll see it in the title.
Oh no, you will. Trust me. But before I drop down,
All right.
can I promote tonight?
Yeah.
All right, for all you guys, it's Pizarro's birthday. It's going to be on my channel tonight at 8 p.m. We're calling. She wants to have a messy birthday party. She said, yeah, she wants the messy better drinks, free crab legs on my channel. I will drop my link in the chat. But I gotta go.
Okay.
Love y'all. I gotta take my daughter to the doctor's.
Bye, Miss Nika.
Bye, baby. Thank you for coming up.
Bye, booze.
Okay.
Bye,
Bye,
Dolly.
Dolly.
See you tonight, Dolly. All right. However you feel about the movie, I will say this: it's a good watch. It is. It's a good watch. If you can handle, assaults and things like that on there, you'll be able to watch it and you draw your own conclusion. I just personally feel like it was a generational curse from both sides. It was a toxic situation from the beginning and it had a tragic ending. What can we learn from this? That's what you should try to figure out for yourself. It's a good watch. What did you learn from that? And if you do happen to watch it after watching this live or watching this replay, and you have some thoughts and opinions, hold on a minute. Watermelon sugar?
It's me. I'm sorry. Divan had a question for me, and I didn't see it before I dropped down. She wanted me to answer it. So,
Okay.
Divan, if you could drop the question, and Lady Nika, if you could see it and read it to me, I'll
Okay.
answer it.
Thank you, Namyo. Rewrite write your question, Miss Diving girl, so I can get up on here and we can get you oh, did I even lead alive? Let me go up and see if I can see it. I was waiting on your response. Okay. Yeah, I'm going up in the chat to see if I can see it. She said, how do you feel is different as for women? Hold on, let me see if I can get. I'll read it to you, but I'm also put it on the screen. I think I found it.
Okay, thank you.
Mm. Hold on, David. Okay. How do you feel is different as far as women abuse? I'm curious. Teach me something, please. Something today, please. There go your question.
Um, how do I feel as far as women to be pertaining to, like, I don't understand what you're asking me.
Okay, she rewrote it. Maybe if she with the rewriting. Okay, here it is.
Okay.
Watermelon Sugar had mentioned that she felt like women's abuse looks very different today than it did back then. I just wanted to know how so, because now people know and they have more studies that have been done to kind of help you put a pattern of behavior. Oh, girl, it wasn't even for me. Go ahead, Watermelon Sugar. My bad.
Well, not only just that, I think that today there are more resources. There's more help for women in domestic violence situations. I think back then in the 80s, a lot of it was swept under the rug and hidden, and what happens in this house stays in this house type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
Not that some women didn't go to the police, but I think that, it was a little bit more of a burden on the person that was being abused to prove their situation. Whereas today, I feel like it's easier for people to lie about and take advantage of um, so-called or supposedly or allegedly being a victim of domestic violence. So I think now it's gone to the total opposite extreme, whereas, and don't get it twisted, men are being abused out here too. It's not as spotlighted as it is pertaining to women. But I think that with the resources and the abundance of help that's available to women now, of course, like with anything, there are some people that will take advantage of the system and the programs. And, especially when there's a bag attached to it, you will have some people that will make false accusations and file false police reports and lawsuits and this, that, whatever, to try to, obtain a monetary gain. Um, it just wasn't the same as pertaining to it. And I think a lot of times, back then, just dealing with some of my growing up in the 80s and dealing with some of my family members that were in similar situations, it was a stigma of shame on the person that was being abused. And this is just generally speaking, I'm not speaking for everyone in every situation, but I think a lot of women were ashamed to say that they were being abused, and they were ashamed to admit that their their relationship or their marriage wasn't what people thought it was looking from the outside in. And I think that because the resources weren't the way that they are now, a lot of women were afraid to try to break those boundaries, because a lot of times when you did file a police report or you did, make a move on your abuser, they would come back and whoop your tail. They would tear you out the frame. So it was like the fear of retaliation and the fear of being out here with no help, especially when you have children in the situation. So that's kind of, I mean, I'm sure that there's other differences as well, but that's just what came to mind when I was saying that initially. I mean, obviously and clearly the times are different. And as far as resources and the internet and programs and government assistance and, all of the opportunities and things that are available for women in situations now. I just don't think that it was a lot of this story, as far as the steroids and even the interracial relationships and, this, that, and the other. It was just way different then. It was just different then. And as far as you know hi- even his trauma as a child before her relationship, it wasn't, and even to this day, but especially then, it wasn't easy for a male, much less a black male, and then a bodybuilder on top of it that's supposed to be hyper masculine, to come out and say, I was hunched, without my consent as a child, or I was abused in this and such a way, So there's a kind of like a stigma of shame or embarrassment, or you know what I'm saying, to try to reach out and get help and to process and deal with those issues. So instead of going about dealing with it in a healthy way, it turned into I'm sure he was angry and he was confused and he was, going through um, a barrage of emotions before the steroids. But then on top of the steroids, I think that it made it, his mind and his body and his emotions, mentally, physically, emotionally, everything was just off kilter. He was out of whack. And, you know, a lot of people that go through trauma as a child struggle with um, dealing with and processing their emotions. So, when you see like children that have been in certain situations, they get out of it and into a different situation, they don't know how to ask for attention. They just show out to get attention, or they'll, um, go out of their way to do things to get attention instead of just saying, look, I need you to love on me, or I need you to, I'm feeling lonely, or I'm feeling sad, or I'm feeling angry, and this is why. So I think him taking that from his childhood into his adulthood, on top of the struggle financially, which is stressful for anybody, especially when you have children, then, moving and bodybuilding and the mental um, roller coaster he was going through, wanting to be the best. That level of competition is straining. And I honestly don't know how they found time in the day to to work, to hustle, to go to the gym, to be there for her. I just don't, there's only 24 hours of any given day. I don't understand, because I take my behind to the grocery store and I'm like, don't ask me for nothing. I am done. All day long, I'm done. Don't ask me. I'm not doing nothing. So I don't understand how they found the time of day to do all that. But I think it was a lot of different factors that all together played in, not just his situation, but also hers. And then going down the line, as the story is being told, it also affected their children. Like the daughter ended up in an abusive situation. I think the son ended up saying he was abusive to a girlfriend or something. Don't quote me to that, or don't hold me to that. I'm not exactly sure, but he ended up getting into drugs, and it's just a vicious cycle. And I think that as the time has gone on, yes, more programs and opportunities are available to help, but you still have to be able to break free of the situation and take advantage of the help.
Well, let me ask you
And I
this.
hope I answered the question.
Okay. Let her know if she answered that for you, diving. But let me ask you this, watermelon sugar. Now in current time, 2022, with everything we've learned about domestic abuse, battered women syndrome, the whole 9 yards. Do you think in 2022 she would have gone to jail?
Yeah, I think she still would have, just because of the evidence. Um, I think that and I was surprised that she went to jail then. I think she would have had more of a chance to go to jail now than she would then, because sometimes the forensics and stuff are much more advanced now than they were then. But because of the placement of the casings and the blood splatters and the you know his body in, I don't want to get too graphic, I'm sorry, but there was pieces of his insides, in certain places on the wall and whatever. I think because of the evidence, it more than proved that it was overkill, you know.
Mm.
So I don't think that I think she still would have went to jail, more so now than she would have then. I mean, I think that they would have been sympathetic to the fact that she was being abused, but he was also being abused. So, you can't say, "Oh, he was doing this," when you were doing it too. It doesn't make it right for you to do it to him either. But I think the way that she went about what she did was what decided her outcome.
I agree. Chat rap, they had, did you, I don't want you to feel like I didn't see you. So you said, did the couple go to court before? She actually had reported him to her first sergeant before early on in the marriage, but she dropped the charges because he beat her again and forced her to do so. She shot him in the abdomen and in the face.
Which, when they did the autopsy, if she would have just shot him that one time, that
That would have
still was going to kill him. That because that's what killed him, was the because he bled out internally. So if she would have shot him that one time, I think she would have possibly gotten away with it.
yeah. I
But I
agree.
think it was the return to the bedroom to get the second shot,
That took her
dropping the
out.
casing in the bedroom, and then shooting him while he was already down in the face was was how they got that blood splatter that was up underneath the lampshade. Instead of, because if he was still coming at her, he would have been standing up, and
Yes.
the blood splatter would have been on the outside. But since it was on the inside, the blood was splattered upwards, meaning he was down. But
Yep.
if she would have stopped at that first shot, then I don't think she would have been. I don't think she would have spent any time in jail.
I think in today's society, she would actually probably have gone to jail for life.
Yeah, I absolutely think that her sentence would have been different had it happened today. Absolutely. And I also think that had it happened today, seeing the whole thing play out, I think she would have gone to jail with more charges than just, the not living.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because
I
I
agree.
think the child, I mean, that's a form of child abuse to allow somebody to, abuse your children like that, and you don't do anything about it. You're just as guilty as the person doing it.
Facts. I understood when you had said that. I think that she should have gotten charged for the abuse of the children as well. So yeah. Well, this was good, girl, and I thank you for coming up. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to Watermelon Sugar. Make your next
Thank
move your best move. Make sure you put that in the chat again so that they can go over and get them some more of you.
I want to let you guys know I do like I use makeup as therapy, but I do more than just makeup. We have good conversations. We just had an interview with State Rep Derisha Parker over there. We're about to do an event coming up in a week or so. That's like a virtual mall where we're highlighting and speaking about and promoting some content creators down here that have products that they're selling, and they're going to be doing running some specials and this, that, and the other. We all know the holidays are coming up, so you'll have an opportunity to shop and get some good deals, and maybe put some little things together for some of the people that you love. So yeah, and we have good conversations. We um we we do a lot of things over there, so don't be afraid if you don't like makeup, or if you're a man or whatever. We do have good conversations, and I have a lot of guests, and we're doing things. So I appreciate everybody that has gone over and showed me love. I truly appreciate each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart. My girl Boss Lady's always over there with me. TC's over there with me all the time, and she's just a wealth of knowledge.
Yes, she
Uh,
is.
Boss, Boss Lady's doing a lot of things too that are very interesting. So be watching her because she got some stuff coming, and we're just trying to be great. That's all we're trying to do is be out here and be great. And
I
I
know
will be
that's my
going on my channel. I will be going live again on my channel soon. I've just had some personal things that I needed to take care of first. So I will be back momentarily. Just hang in there with me, and I appreciate you all. Thank you so much, Lady Nyca, for promoting me on your platform. I appreciate you.
You're welcome, baby. You're welcome.
All right, I'm gonna drop down. Y'all have a blessed day.
Okay, make sure you put your stuff in the chat so that they can get over there to you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, baby. Thank you for coming up.
Not a problem. Have a good day.
You too. Well, y'all, I want to thank y'all for coming. I mean, hell, we ain't gonna always agree, girl. Let me tell you something about this den. That's what makes the den great. We can agree to disagree respectfully. Okay, it ain't no right and no wrong in this situation. So I accept it all, and I respect you all for your opinions on this. Because after all, childish cases said and done, these ain't nothing but opinions. Don't take nothing personal. You know what I mean? So I thank you all so much for watching. Again, thank you to Purple Peach, who gave me the inspiration to even come live today. It was not my intention, but I came on through anyway. So at this time, can you please drop the purple hearts? Watermelon Sugar is going to drop. She dropped a channel right there. Scroll up in the chat, and here it is right here, Natisha. You guys have a great remainder to your day. I'm planning on doing the same thing, and I will see you all again back down here. If I'm inspired, I'll be back tomorrow, child. Have a wonderful evening, my beautiful people. Remember, Pizarro party is at 8 p.m. I'm a guess that's Central Time over on Dolly Game Channel. So if you are a Pizarro supporter, you can come over and enjoy yourself. Have a great evening, everybody. I'm out.